Okay, so today's class we are looking at area of shaded regions. So when we're calculating the area of the shaded regions, it's the shaded parts of the figure. What we're going to do is you're going to calculate the area of the entire figure first, and then we subtract out the area of the figure that is unshaded. So if we look at this example here, we want to figure out the area of just the shaded regions, these corner parts. So the area of the whole figure we have to figure out first, which is a hexagon, and then we would subtract out the area of the circle. All right, so let's start with figuring out the area of the hexagon. So for that area of the hexagon, that equals to 0.5 A and S. Okay, A represents the apothem, which is this here, dashed line. And then n is the number of sides, so it would be 6 because it's a hexagon. And then the side length is the s, which is 8. All right, and then all of it gets multiplied together. So 0.5 times 7 times number of sides, which is 6, times the side length, which is 8 centimeters. All right, multiply that all out, and we get the area to be 168 centimeters squared. All right, so that's the area of the whole hexagon. All right, so next what we have to do is figure out the area of the circle. So area of the circle is pi r squared. All right, so pi we use 3.14. And then the radius is from the center to the outside of the circle. So the radius here is 7, and it's 7 squared. Just the 7 is squared. All right, so you put that into your calculator, and we get 153.86 centimeters squared. All right, and now we would subtract. So area shaded is equal to the whole figure, which was 168, subtract out the circle, so minus 153.86, and that gives me 14.14 centimeters squared. All right, so again, very important to keep your work and steps organized. I always do a little subscript here to show what area I'm solving for. So area hexagon, area circle, and then area shaded. Before, when we were looking at area, if we had two figures together, you would have put like area total and then added the two figures together. Okay, any questions? Okay, so here for this example, we have two circles, right? So we have the larger circle, and then we have the smaller circle. So to figure out the area of this shaded region, we're going to figure out the area of the large circle, the whole figure, and then we'll subtract out the smaller circle. All right, and then just keep in mind that from here to here, it is the 3 meters. So therefore the radius here would be a total of 7 meters. So area, I'm just going to say, of the larger circle is pi r squared. The radius is 7. So 3.14, 7 squared. That gives me 153.86 meters squared. And then we're going to figure out the area of the small circle, and the radius there is 4 meters. So pi r squared All right, so that goes into the calculator, and I get 50.24 meters squared. All right, so next, figuring out the area of the shaded region, we're going to subtract. So 153.86 minus 50.24 which gives me 103.62 meters squared, okay, for the area of this shaded region. All right, so to figure out the half circle first, area is equal to pi r squared, and then we're dividing it by 2 because it's half the circle. So 3.14, the radius is 3, so half of the diameter, it would be the radius, so 3 squared, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So when you do that, you should get 14.13 decimeters squared. All right, so that is for the half circle. Next, we could figure out the area of this rectangle. All right, so 3 and 3 here, and then 4 here. So length times width for that rectangle there. So 6 times 4, which is 24 meters, not meters, decimeters squared. We'll just go back and write that properly, decimeters squared. All right, so we've got your half circle, we've got that rectangle here, and then we have to figure out the rectangle there. So area of that would, again, would be length times width, which would be 4 times 3, and that gives me 12 decimeters squared. All right, so we've got all the area of all 3 parts here. So now we would just get the area total, right, because all of this is shaded. So we would just add all 3 of those. So 14.13 plus 24 plus 12, which gives me a total of 50.13 decimeters squared. All right, so for this question, we have to figure out the area of the trapezoid, and then we will subtract out the area of the circle. All right, so this is the formula here for the trapezoid. So 0.5, altitude is 6, and then base 1 plus base 2, that would be 8 plus 10. All right, and then it would just be 0.5 times 6 times 18. And then put that into your calculator, we get 54 kilometers squared. All right, so that is for the area of the trapezoid. So next, for the area of the circle, firstly we have to figure out what the radius is. So we can see that the diameter of the circle is 6 kilometers. So half of that, the radius would be 3 kilometers. All right, so 3.14 times 3 squared, and that gives me 28.26 kilometers squared. All right, but we're still working towards figuring out the area of the shaded region, so we have to subtract. So area of the shaded region, we're going to subtract 54 minus the 28.26, which gives me my answer of 25.74 kilometers squared. Okay, so that is the area of the shaded region.